I want to put this little chunk right here, chop it up, and put it in the beginning because I want you to hear this part. I am a professional artist, like a guy that just got drafted to the NBA and is starting his practice drills with the actual pros. That's kind of the analogy of where I am. Skilled, good. I can pretty much do everything those guys can, but they just know more. They know more, they've been doing it longer, they're better. So the benefit of watching me is that I'm kind of in between maybe where you are and where they are. So it's not such a jump to look at where you are and to be like, holy crap. Like if Jim Lee was sitting here and he was editing this page, or he was doing the layouts for this page, he wouldn't struggle to this degree like I'm struggling. A lot of the stuff that I'm having to think through, he would have, it would be second nature for him to not even include that part of the creative panel process. Jim Lee wouldn't struggle to do this. Not like this anyway. He would struggle more in the fine details and maybe changing a layout here or there. But what I'm doing is I have enough experience that I know what I'm going for, but not so much that it's going to look effortless. So I'm going to walk you through my thought process, which I hope will make your thought process a little better, a little bit easier. It won't be so advanced, right? So what do I dislike about this page right now? What I dislike about this page right now is I don't like all the different camera angle changing and all the basically same size character stuff. Like there's nothing to this right now. So one thing I know I'm going to do for sure is I think I'm going to get rid of this panel and duplicate this one, but with his head down and his hand out. And I think that's gonna make me a lot happier. So I'm just gonna do that for a second. Duplicate this layer, move it over, and then we'll just make a couple tweaks here. Whoa, that's way too big. So I'm gonna show his hand. So here he's kind of still discombobulated. So we'll have his hand reaching up here, something to this effect. Cuts his hand. Just boom, boom, no doubt about it. About what's being shown here. This poor guy can't catch a break, he's having a rough day. Okay, so that's not bad. I definitely consider this an improvement here. Okay, it's much easier to read. I'm debating even still about maybe turning these into like silhouettes and shrinking the scale. What the heck? Oh, I see what happened. Okay. That I'm liking. Okay. So we're gonna take this, cut, edit, paste, one layer. So what I want to have happen. Okay, so I'm always leaning on my cheek here. And over here. Cool. Okay. Blood on his hand. we're going to take this guy, and over here, this guy, put him right here. And take this little chunk out. Then we could probably take, now this is not the way I would normally do this, but just for simplicity's sake. Now we're starting to get some motion here. Now, what do I really want to happen? I want the eye to kind of go like in this zigzag pattern, right? So I could potentially, there we go. Now we're cooking with gas, people. Shrink this down a bit. And why am I changing the sizes of these? This is going to help with the, hopefully with the flow and energy of the piece. And kind of take some trial and error here. Okay, similar movement, right? Kind of what we're going for here. Okay. So we're making good progress. What am I liking? So I'm liking the movement much better. This kind of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, zoom. So we want to put some tension here on him grabbing this door handle, right? So that's where we'll have that. Because the next page, I think what I'm going to do is do a view from his perspective of him touching the door and the door blowing open, exploding with the bartender flying backwards. So I'll need to make some little subtle changes in here as this is progressing. We could probably silhouette here. This is better. Silhouette, like drawn silhouettes, full thing. I think that works. Okay, so next step, I've got all these layers, right? This is everything I need in here. I no longer need that little blockade. I will keep these all separate, but I want to group them together. That way I can manipulate these individually if I need to make some small adjustments. And then, but also kind of keep it out of the way when it's time. So I close that. See, now I can get rid of all of them at once, or I can turn the whole thing down in opacity so I can start working on a little bit more polished roughs. So now I'm trying to think about how I can enhance all these visuals while keeping them, creating more graphic tweaks here. Our border is going to help the progress of this piece, right? Folder. Now, this is probably highly unlikely to be the final frame layout, but it gives us something to consider. All right, these should stay in the frames. These should stay in the frames. What happens if I This will need dramatic improvement, of course, but right now I just need to get an idea. And this thing is actually going to look. I'm just continuing to add, increase, improve the detail. So this is where we go. Do we need these bottom panel dividers? Yeah, I don't think so. Cool. Okay, that's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. I'm not mad at that. What I'll probably have is I'll see if I can have Sam and Max continue to or include more knock, 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 bang, bang, bang kind of stuff. Have the bartender saying things back here, but I think this will keep it relatively, it keeps it pretty consistent. Knock, 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 what the hell, this isn't, I am the business. Maybe I think we're gonna take, cool. Okay, so I'm digging this layout. This is the layout for this page. This is page 17 of Paratrauma, written by Sam, Ibrahim, and Max Duane. Artist me, Todd Beats. We will continue to progress on these pages. I hope you've enjoyed yourselves. We will obviously flesh these out a bit more, but for now, this is the process. This is what matters on the page, right? Like, you can get more detailed, and you can get all of that can get better and more refined. But until you get your base process, until you get your base visuals laid out, until you get your movement and your pieces and all of that stuff together, none of that matters if you don't. That is what you got to do that first. You have to do it first. It'll make life way easier. I can now go in with some detail on this stuff and feel much more confident and much more satisfied about how it's looking. So, all right, thanks guys, and same Todd time, same Todd channel next time.